Hello there, and welcome back to No Pants Profits. My name is Richard, still sitting here with no pants, and finally back to making some profits. It is Tuesday, March 29th. Tuesday, March 29th of 2022. It is 12:25 a.m. Eastern when we're recording this right now. And just about 18 hours ago, it was announced that Tesla was going to split again. Now, the details of that split are not very widely known yet, but I will tell you, I'm a guy that, I rode Tesla from under $100 a share to where it is now over $1,000 a share. I think there are some better opportunities than Tesla right now. Trust me, I'm not telling you to dump your Tesla right now, but I've got two opportunities that I think are kind of a little bit better. I tend to say they're slightly better options than Tesla because we're going to talk about options today, and we're going to talk about options on two specific stocks, but we'll talk about them in two separate videos. First one we're going to talk about in this video right now is ChargePoint, and then the second one we're going to talk about in another video, we might get them linked in a full circle, is Ford. I think ChargePoint and Ford are the best options to make a bet on Tesla. And I know that might seem really strange, but what I want to do now is we're going to talk about ChargePoint. We're going to review their business. We're going to look at their financials. I'm going to show you how I personally use ChargePoint because I think that's very useful to know. But let's go ahead. Let's look at investor relations. Let's look at the stock price. Let's talk about their actual product because I think that's super important, is to understand what the heck a company actually does. So I want to go ahead and let's dive into ChargePoint. So what is ChargePoint? Well, if you know Teslas or you know anything like that, you've got electric cars, and electric cars you've got to charge. And for now, in the US, only Tesla cars can charge on Tesla chargers. And there's a lot of other cars out there. Yes, Tesla is the #1 electric car seller. Yes, I'm not telling anybody to sell their Tesla stock. I have over 550 shares of Tesla, purchased under $100 each myself, so I'm not selling a dime of that. But I think there are better options to make money, and this is one of them, which is ChargePoint. And I'm just going to show you a picture. I took this a day and a half ago, and I think it's kind of very relevant to the discussion right now because these are actually a whole bunch of Teslas, and I'll tell you where they are not. I'll tell you where those Teslas are not. They are not at a Tesla charger. So you'll see you've got a whole bunch of Teslas right here, and none of those Teslas are at a Tesla charger, but they're at these chargers right here. I'm going to zoom in a bit more so you can see what I'm talking about. They're at these things right here, and what we're talking about is these. And you'll see, if you look, this is a line of 6 Teslas in a row. Now, I will tell you, I have personally never owned a Tesla. I've borrowed Teslas. I've owned Tesla stock. But, I have owned an electric car for quite a while. This was my midlife crisis electric car. This is literally not a joke. This was my little tiny electric car. That was my first electric car, a little electric smart car. And this is my current electric car, which is the electric Mustang. So I don't currently own a Tesla, but I own a lot of Tesla. And I've not really charged at a supercharger station because realistically, what you've got for these cars that are not Teslas, and you can see obviously the cars that are Teslas are relevant as well, but what you've got at all of these different stations is you've got this charger can work with any electric car out there. So the Volkswagen cars, the Bolts, the Volts, the semi-hybrid ones that have an electric battery in it and everything like that. So these are actually done by ChargePoint. ChargePoint is the largest distributed number of charging stations across the United States right now. And again, remember, if a car is not a Tesla, electric car, truck, van, SUV, whatever you want to call it, is not a Tesla, it cannot use the Tesla chargers. So we're looking at ChargePoint, and you can see, you've got ChargePoint for businesses, so you have a network for businesses. They're talking about businesses, and we're on ChargePoint's website right now, which will be linked below, but you're talking about businesses of commercial trucks, comprehensive charging for fleet management. This is going to become super duper duper important. Trust me, I don't think anybody really has, could be wrong, other than Tesla and maybe a couple tech startups, has a fleet of managed Tesla EVs. This is all when, I don't know, let me show you something. Electric mail trucks. USPS forgoes ahead gas-powered mail, Ford is ahead with gas-powered mail trucks. Oh, look. It ignores the mail trucks, doubling here. Here's an example. USPS is doubling its initial order of electric mail delivery trucks. This came out 5 days ago. these trucks need to charge somehow. Someone needs to have that charging infrastructure, and I would say the best shot at that is probably with ChargePoint. We're going to look at the financials of the company. Let's be very clear. Does ChargePoint lose a boatload of money right now? I think so. We'll look at the numbers in a minute. But I want to look at, kind of their business. I want to show you how it all works. I have ChargePoint. I have both ChargePoint that I use when I'm on the go, and I actually, right behind this wall right here, I actually have a personal ChargePoint charger that's actually installed in my house, so I can keep all of my electric vehicle charging together on both when I charge outside of the house and inside of the house. So it works really well. So, for businesses, for fleets, for drivers. So, businesses can have apartments and condos. Electric car, electric car, electric car, electric car, electric car. If you're renting a house or you don't own a house, you can't install a charger there. I think that's important to understand. And this is where ChargePoint's kind of very relevant. I have a charger right there because I've got a house that I can put a charger on. So drilled it in the wall, run 220 power to it, everything like that. The charger cost me about $400 or $500. Cost me about $400 or $500 to actually get it installed and everything like that. But where they're saying for businesses is apartment complexes, other places like that. If you've got to charge the electric car, you've got to charge the electric car. Auto dealerships. You've got auto dealerships that are going to have whole floors full of electric cars. Definitely watch the other video on Ford that's going to release about the same time as this one. But you'll see auto dealerships really useful as well. If they've got a lot full of cars, they got to charge it somehow. New construction. There's a shopping center right by me that actually is a new construction shopping center. Has 12 ChargePoint chargers inside of it. And I will tell you, their change has been dramatic in the last few months because now they're all filled with Teslas, which is weird. You're asking, how can the Teslas benefit? Utilities, workplaces. You can make it a benefit to your employees that drive an electric vehicle to have a ChargePoint charger installed at work. I think the important thing to understand is that Teslas come with an adapter, and Teslas can charge easily on a ChargePoint charger, but other vehicles that are not Tesla can't charge as easily on a Tesla charger. So I think that's kind of an interesting one. For fleets, if you're doing fleet management, if you've got a whole bunch of trucks or something like that, and you want to look at the amount of fuel they're using, it's electricity, they're using, and for drivers themselves. And that's kind of what I want to show you is the driver experience, because here's the thing. The driver experience is what you're going to really experience. Now, that driver could either be an individual who has an EV like myself, can be someone who's driving for a fleet, like let's say the electric Rivian Amazon vehicles, which are out there. We've done some stuff on Rivian already. You could definitely take a review of Rivian, or look at Rivian, or businesses that have, apartments and condos and other things like that. But I think what's interesting is to kind of understand how it all works. So the best way to kind of show you how it all works is to show you my actual ChargePoint app, and you'll see they should be live. Let me see if we're live here. We are not live. No, we are live. Okay, so what you can see is this is actually for the month of March so far. I've used $22 in electricity charging my electric Mustang, my Mustang Mach-E, and when I'm at home, my average energy price is 14 cents per kilowatt hour. And then when I'm away, I have different rates of doing that. So I want to kind of go over that, talk about ChargePoint, and kind of understand where their business is coming from. So let me see if they have a video on their website that we can, oh, look, here, perfect. I want to show you this, because this will be useful. I want to start with this, and then we're going to go back to this app, but you can see what I've spent so far. I want you to fully understand what's going on with ChargePoint.
Hi everyone, I'm Lucia from ChargePoint, and I'm going to show you how simple it is to charge any electric vehicle using ChargePoint. To get started, create a free account online or in the app. It's super fast and easy. Once you're signed up, there's 3 ways you can charge: with your phone, with the app, or with your card. You can charge as soon as you sign up using your phone. Drivers agree it's the easiest way to charge. Setting up Tap to Charge will be different depending on if you have an iPhone or an Android. The app will walk you through all of it. Once you're set up, tap your phone right over the RFID reader. Make sure your screen is on for Android and your finger's on Touch ID for iPhone. Listen for the beep and the click that unlocks the connector. Just unplug it from the station right here. Go ahead and open your port door and plug it in. And you're charging. Double check to make sure your car is charging before you head off. Most EVs have indicator lights on the dashboard to let you know if you're charging. You can also check your charging status anytime in the mobile app or on the station. That's it. You can go about your day, no need to stand around and wait for your car to charge. Make sure to enable notifications in the mobile app so we can send you a reminder when you're done charging. Once you're done charging or have as much range as you need, just tap your phone right over the RFID reader to stop charging. You'll hear the beep, unplug the connector from your car, and plug it back into the station. And that's it, charging your electric.
So yeah, you literally will just take your phone, you'll tap your phone right up like Apple Pay or anything like that, tap it right to the reader, and then you can actually go in and you can charge. Now, if you're at home and you've got a charge point at home, I'll show you that's a little bit different here. Is, you know, I've been plugged in, my car's been plugged in, I haven't gone anywhere today, for 20 hours and 5 minutes. And you can see it's added 145 miles and cost $5.97. So, I mean, if we were to just, let's do the math real quick, 5.97 divided by 145, it is 4 cents a mile. A little bit different than gas prices nowadays, but 4 cents a mile there to actually charge the car at home. But what's interesting is I want to show you some other charging locations. I'll give you a perfect example. There's a garage up in Delray Beach, Florida. If any of you are familiar with Delray Beach, you know, I went to Delray Beach. I went and I had some happy hour there the other day. I plugged in right in the garage, and it cost me exactly $3.99 to charge the car. So it cost absolutely nothing. If you're looking at that 45 minute charge, the 2-hour charge, here we go, and it was completely free. So ChargePoint makes money because the businesses that want to install a charger are getting higher end customers. I was just reading an article right before we came on that the average EV price as of yesterday being sold was $60,000. Full disclosure, and I've never not been full disclosure, my Ford Mustang Mach-E, which is now my primary car, is a $62,000 EV that I just bought. So it's right in kind of the average. The Teslas are a little bit more. We can talk more about that Mustang in the Ford video because I think that's interesting because I think it's better than a Tesla. Sorry to spoil the Elon bubble and get a lot of hate, but I do think it's better than a Tesla. But the charging network does still need some work. But you can see that you can add, and depending on how much electricity you use, I'll give you an example. So the home rates aren't free. You'll see those are the, but if I look, I don't use a lot of, okay, so here's a charger that was in Aventura Mall. And you can see this, there's a couple of different ways to actually price ChargePoint, so you can understand. You can either make it free, which most of my charging when I'm out about is free. It's actually paid for by FPL or Next Era Energy. If you've watched any of my videos on the N-word, nuclear, Next Era Energy actually pays for it. You can pay by the amount of time you're parked, or you can pay by the amount of energy you actually use, or for places unlike South Florida, big cities and stuff like that where they charge for parking, you could do any metric of those, as well as charge for, $2 an hour for parking and then $2 an hour to get electricity and different things like that. But it's really quite interesting, and ChargePoint has points all over the country. One of the things I've been watching a lot of videos on is actually, riding Route 66, and Route 66 is like classic Americana route 66. So we can look at like Route 66. If I want to go in and look at Route 66, we can actually see a lot of the chargers that are going to be on Route 66. Maybe. And the idea is if you go on the app, okay. So you see every place there's one of these. We've got Route 66 somewhere here. Is that it? 93? 75, but you see these are all the chargers that are all over the country. Let's try and find Route 66 just for giggles. I know it does start all the way up in, not in Canada, not in Calgary, not in Medicine Hat, not in Nebraska, not in South Dakota. We're trying to get up to Illinois and Chicago. There we go. So we should be able to find Route 66. But the idea is, if we find Route 66, is you can actually track the chargers that you can get, and you can ride all the way. There's 65, 57, 57. But you'll see these chargers. These are ChargePoint chargers that are literally available all over the United States. And if I scroll out, you'll see even more. You can download the ChargePoint app and look for free. I mean, look at all these chargers. And This is the largest charging network in the US. And like I said, some of them are free because businesses want you to come there and charge for free. Some of them cost per the amount of energy added, and some of them cost per time. But you can see you've pretty much covered the entire United States for non-Tesla vehicles. Yes, there are superchargers for Tesla vehicles. I understand that. But you can cover the entire populated United States. I mean, even if I zoom out a little bit, you'll see the entire populated United States is covered with these chargers that are convenient. You tap your phone, like we said, and you go in. But I think here's the question, and that's why you come to a guy who wears no pants and hopefully makes profits. How do you make profits on this? How do you make tendies on this? How do you actually make money on this? So I want to look at the financial performance of ChargePoint stock recently. And it's been really good. So let's take a look at ChargePoint. So we're going to look at the stock, and then we'll look at some options. If we look at the stock in the last month, it is up 32%. Now you might say, that's a crazy run. You know, it is a crazy run, to be honest with you, but I think there's a lot more to go. Past 3 months, it's still down. So, you know, it still hasn't recovered from that December, January slump, if you look at it there. You know, the past year, it's down. Past 5 years, it's obviously up. But ChargePoint, number one, do they make money? Relevant question. You'll notice the Morningstar ratings, literally nobody here says to sell. ChargePoint has not made money. Let's be very clear. ChargePoint does not make money. It is one of the 100 most popular stocks on Robinhood. So if we look at the 100 most popular stocks in Robinhood, obviously number one is Tesla. Number two is AMC. Number three, wow. Well, that's just what I have that's on that list. So there's 100 items there. I don't think I have everything there. But it'll just show you consumer services and shared retail. But has ChargePoint ever made money? No. Look at those earnings. It's pretty nasty earnings. But here's the thing. As it expands and more people get EVs, and you have your EV stations looking more and more like this, and you've got Teslas that are not charging in superchargers. You know, I'll tell you, the guy right here, I eventually took his spot. He actually admitted he wasn't even charging. And he said he just likes it because it's like free handicap parking. You can't see his license plate, but he parks his car. He doesn't even really need to charge it. But these chargers are always super convenient because they have to be near the store's electricity source. And he goes, I just like it because it's free parking. But if we look at the financials, I'll tell you the financials of ChargePoint are not great. I mean, so ChargePoint Q4 2021. Because we're not going to have Q1s yet. Q4 and full fiscal year. I'm just pulling this up so we can kind of see. So again, we do a lot of S1 reviews and stuff like that, so I figure why not take a look through this. And then we're going to talk about the options you have, which there's an option. So this was filed March 11th, so this is about 10 days old or so. This presentation may contain forward-looking statements. I'm going to pull myself down a little bit. Unless I need me, I'm going to disappear, so bye for now. Oh, sorry. Hit the wrong button. Bye for now. So, you know, forward-looking statements, and they're kind of warning you here. Revenue density. Perfect. So they do actually have some sites in Europe. So they have some sites in Europe by geography, by type, network charging systems, subscriptions, and others. Gross margin. Their gross margin looks good. We'll come back. You know, their margin is 23%. Yeah, they're not making money yet because they're building out this network. Now, remember, if a business wants to offer this for free, they're obviously going to pay for it, you know, because ChargePoint's just going to make money from the business and not from the user. So, like you were seeing all those businesses, I only paid to charge at one business, which was one mall, because I guess, and what's funny is in the mall, it's literally directly above a Tesla supercharger in the mall, and you see Teslas there a lot of time too. But their operating expenses have gone up. Stay relatively stable. Appendix. Okay, we got an income statement. You see, look, hey, look, there's a lot of red there. Balance sheet, there's a lot of red there. Cash flows, there's not a red there, but they're not a going concern. You know, they can raise money, they can get all this other things like that. It's not a going concern. You're not going to see this company go belly up. I do see it as, though, I don't see it as a going concern. I will link this in the video description below, but I actually do see this as an acquisition target. So a perfect example is a Toyota OTA. So if I look at Toyota, where was the Toyota? Complimentary charging from Toyota. Okay, here we go. So this was 4 days ago. Again, everything's kind of coming together all at once. Toyota partners with ChargePoint for EV charging ahead of the U.S. launch of an electric SUV. So, you know, you've got Toyota partnering up. You've got these other companies that are partnering up. I think Ford is trying to... they can go their own way. I don't think they're going to get their own way too long. I really, really like ChargePoint. I use their service. I mean, I have a charger from them mounted to the wall right behind... literally right behind the camera. There's an air condition, and then there's a charger right behind the camera there. So, you know, I like it. I use it every day. I do think it's the industry standard for not Teslas. I'm not saying that Tesla superchargers are bad. I want to be very, 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 very clear. I am not saying that Tesla superchargers are bad in any way, shape, or form. But, you know, if you look at, you can install something in your home, you can have the same thing. This gives you a Tesla-like charging experience. I think that's the important thing. Imagine if you could have, I'm just trying to get a charging activity. Imagine if you could have a Tesla-like charging experience without having a Tesla. That would show you the amount of money you spent on charging, the amount of energy you've used. I've used 239 kilowatts, which 91 kilowatts of that was in public, 148 was charged at home. And I've charged a total of 815 miles. So I can see that all directly from the application, which I think is quite useful. Now, do your own research, but here's what I want to talk about is I want to go into options. You know, the stock has done well. The stock has had a nice recovery in the last week and the last month, but where the real tendies are, where the real money's been, is in ChargePoint options. And I am specifically right now, your mileage may vary, but I am specifically looking at in-the-money options for 2024. So I'm looking at in-the-money options for 2024. I've been in, out, upside down, and around of the options in ChargePoint. When you have a down day, I'll buy 10 or 20 of them. When you have an up day, I'll sell 10 or 20 of them. I've had a really good track record on ChargePoint in the past few days. You can see the date purchased. I've been doing it for about a month, trading these ChargePoint options, and now it's time to bring it to all of you because I think it's quite interesting. So a lot of people are not familiar with options, and I think this is actually an interesting way to introduce people to options. I do think that the best option buying experience, don't kill me, don't sue me, bro. The best option buying experience is in Robinhood. I do like Robinhood for options, and you can see, you know, in the last day it was down, in the last week it was up. And you've got those calls. I mean, the past month, I've made 48%. You could see when I started trading these options was the 1st. Today is the 29th. So I've made at least 48%. If I would have sat on my hands and did nothing, 48%. But I'm trading it every single up day. I would sell some options. Down days, I would buy some options. This is not going to be an option masterclass, but I want to give you an idea of what you're buying when you look at options. So if you're looking at ChargePoint options, the price of ChargePoint stock right now is $18.60 a share. What an option allows you to do is it allows you to buy the ability to buy the shares at a set price on a set date. And it is better than margin as far as leverage is concerned. It means it can hurt you a lot too. But it's better than margin as far as leverage is concerned, or as far as other things like that are actually concerned. And you can actually do yourself a lot of good, or, you know, maybe a lot of bad here. So what I have done is, see, ChargePoint is $18.60 right now. I have bought the ability times 15, so every option is good for 100 shares. I have bought the ability times 15 to buy ChargePoint at $13 a share in January of 2024. So I have the ability to buy 1,500 shares of ChargePoint for $13 a share, which is an in-the-money option because it's 18 right now, so it's $5 above. So for $13 a share, I have the ability to buy 1,500 shares in January of 2024. You are paying more because of a premium. Now, what does that cost you for the opportunity? Now, if you wanted to just buy ChargePoint shares, you could buy ChargePoint shares. Hold on, let's go back to ChargePoint. You can buy ChargePoint shares for $18.60. You can buy one share of ChargePoint. But I can buy this option just to show you, I can buy this option for $8.60. So for $10 less per share, more than 50% off per share, you can buy an option on ChargePoint for 2024, and anything that's above realistically $13, but remember, right now you're paying $8.60 for it. So any profit that is above $21.15 a share, which if you look at how ChargePoint's growing, if you look, literally all I really need to show you, and I'll go back to this again, I think this is kind of interesting. All I've got to show you, let's zoom out. All I got to show you is the map. This is just South Florida. The way this is growing is incredible. I mean, if you want to look at the west coast of Florida, and you've got some areas that have 175, 123. Look, this is Tampa. I can look at Tampa, and I can see there's 175 chargers in downtown Tampa. Download the ChargePoint app. You can sign in. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. And you can look at where these chargers are near you. Because if you're not getting a Tesla, you may need this. Now, if you're not getting a Tesla and you don't have a home that you can drill a charger into on the outside, you may need this. That's the spectrum. And just as, let's see, because I think they said they were in Europe too. Oh, look at that. Well, hell. This is the ChargePoint app. These are chargers over in Europe. I think it's a pretty safe bet, not financial advice, but I think it's a pretty safe bet that break even at $21 is going to come sooner rather than later. And, I've bought myself nearly 2 years, a little less than 2 years, to get it to that price point. I think that a $13 call for ChargePoint for 2024 is probably worth, right now, if you wanted to get in, probably about $8.25 to $8.50 per option. I think it is an amazing opportunity, and I think it's a great option instead of going and buying Tesla shares, because I think it's got a lot more ability to move than Tesla. Am I selling my Tesla? Let's be very, very, very clear here. No. Richard likes wearing no pants and making profits. I had a multiple tens of thousands of dollar profitable day on the 28th with Tesla shares that I've been holding on to for a while, and I'm hoping that Tesla eventually, I know there's rumblings they're going to do it, but nobody's given a number yet. The split's happening, but whether we get a dividend or not, a dividend would be a wonderful thing. But overall, ChargePoint, the best charging solution in the world that is not a Tesla supercharger. They do have both level 2 and level 3 chargers, meaning that you can charge at about 30 miles an hour, or you can charge even faster. Their major competitors are, when you're looking at, a SWOT analysis or something like that, their major competitors are Tesla, obviously, and this company called Electrify America. Which, if you watch the Ford video, that's another one. The Ford video, these are both going to come out at the same time, both on Ford and ChargePoint as 2024 plays against Tesla. But if you look at Electrify America, that's actually owned by Volvo of the US, and there's no direct way to invest in that. But this is fast charging that'll charge your car, your non-Tesla vehicle, in 45 minutes from 0 or from 20%, that's how they say it, from 20% to 80% in 45 minutes. Now, ChargePoint is building out that network, but ChargePoint is mainly level 2 chargers right now, but they do have some level 3 fast chargers. I want to get this discussion going. If you think I'm crazy, feel free to comment below. And if you love what I'm saying, feel free to comment below. I just want to throw out some ideas. This is what I'm doing right now as far as options are concerned for ChargePoint. There will be a relative video talking about options for Ford, because I think there's a lot of room for growth in options on Ford too. If you got any questions, feel free to post them below in the comments. Happy for a great discussion. This is Richard from No Pants Profits, reminding you that when you wear no pants, the only thing you've got left to lose is your shirt. Have a great one. See you around, and check out that Ford video that dropped about the same time. It's the same thing, just a little bit different. Have a great one. Bye.